if you're going to be a dynasty in the NFL, you got to have enough depth and breadth where if you got 5, if you got 6, number 6 might be that might be the lowest on your list. Number 1 might be your best. Number 3 somewhere in the middle. That's what a dynasty is. They're not all going to be the same.
Right.
You got to be able to figure it out, and they're all going to have different things.
All of Stevie Wonder's albums, like, they're all brilliant, but they're different degrees of brilliance. You know what I mean? Yeah, right.
Shout out. Everything can't be songs in the key of life. They all can't. That's the best one. I don't care what y'all say. That's the best one. But you know what? They're not the 2003, 2004 Patriots. They're probably I got 2018 Patriots vibes from this team throughout the season. They were underdogs in every significant game. They beat Miami at home. Okay, fine. But they went on the road. They're underdogs to Buffalo. Shouldn't have been. Underdogs to Baltimore. We know now. Shouldn't have been. Underdogs to San Francisco in the Super Bowl. Shouldn't have been. They lose a couple of years ago. Tyreek Hill is out. What are they going to do without Tyreek Hill? Last year,
won 2 Super Bowls since they traded Tyreek Hill.
Hey, you know who? And this is what's crazy to me. This is what's crazy to me. This is why Patrick Mahomes is on that. He owns some other. He's on something else. He owns something else. You know who their second leading receiver was last year? You know who drew the major penalty to win?
Yeah, Juju last year. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Juju?
That's
who? I mean,
yeah.
Hey, I saw him with the Patriots. Can't play. I mean, he just can't play. I mean, like, he's just a guy. He's just a dude. He's less than a dude football-wise. Humanity, great. I'm sure he's a humanitarian. But as a football player, nothing's there. Patrick Mahomes resuscitated him, made him credible and viable. And now, Mecole Hardman, who began as a Jet, who started the year as a New York Jet, is now catching the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. This is on Mahomes. This is a Mahomes.
It's a masterpiece.
We started with him. We start there. So, you're right. If Kyle Shanahan had done something different, okay, maybe we have a different journey to the same conclusion.
Or I'm gonna go. That's exactly right. I'm gonna go Morpheus in the Matrix. Know what happened and couldn't have happened any other way. Like this was like Patrick Mahomes was going to find a way. And speaking of Mecole Hardman, that one rollout where Patrick Mahomes rolled left and flicked it across the field to Mecole Hardman, the long play, that was by far the most exciting. You know, Travis Kelce had a couple of plays, especially in the second half, once he got Andy Reid's attention. That was by far the most exciting pass from Patrick Mahomes last night that I can recall off the top of my head. I mean, obviously, you know, the touchdown off the muff punt and game-winning touchdown pass notwithstanding. I mean, in terms of distance, degree of difficulty, so on and so forth. Point being, and last time I was on the show, which has been a minute, I think we talked about another pet peeve.
Good to see you, by the way.
Use your legs. Good to see you. Use your legs. Use your legs. You know, as if you couldn't run with some other appendage, or there's some other part of your body that allows you to run other than your legs. But last night, Patrick Mahomes used his legs last night, and that's what makes this dude so damn frustrated. He's as good a scrambler, not runner. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson, but he's as good a scrambler as there is in the NFL. Like, those 333 yards were like, those are kind of ho-hum 333, you know, other than the coincidence of the address of Allegiant Stadium. I mean, it wasn't
stacking.
Okay, it was fine.
It was just stacking.
It was fine.
It was just stacking.
It was okay. It wasn't special.
Another good day of work. You know,
right?
It was coming in, putting the money on top of the container on top of the refrigerator. We made a little bit more money today. We got, you know, just,
now we have $300 million. Now we have $300 million and $70. You know,
and
$70. It was fine. As a passer, he was fine. He managed the game. As a runner, he was dynamic. And to me, we'll get into Brady conversations in a second, I'm sure. But to me, man, I see so much Steve Young, because, you know, I've said this for years, that the baddest motherfucker on the planet for my money. Like for at his peak was early to mid 90s Steve Young. at his peak, early in Man 90, Steve Young, you wanted no parts of that. And I'm seeing a lot of that from Patrick Mahomes, a right-handed Steve Young, where it's like, oh my God, the dude he knows what he's doing cerebral, from a cerebral standpoint. He understands he understands the system. He understands defense. He can pick you apart. And oh, by the way, if it's necessary, it's like, you know what, man? Let me just go grab this first down right quick. I don't even know the last time Patrick Mahomes actually ran. He's jogging half the times. He's scooting. Let me just go slide. Let me get out of bounds right fast. Let me just make a play. Oh, let's break out an RPO and I'll bust off a 22-yarder when I have to. It's just he has so much ability until it's simply unfair to have to deal with this dude. He's got all the tools. He's got all the answers.
Got everything in there.
He's got a Batman belt worth of utilities. It's incredible what he's able to do when he needs to do it.
And you talk about the RPO and the slide. Sometimes, if it calls for it, he'll put his head down. He'll put his head down and try to drive you for those extra two if it's necessary. But he's got all those traits and characteristics. And then let's just bring in something else. Competitiveness. It's one thing, and I just want people to pay attention to that. Always say that. I say that whether it's football or anything else. I say a great skill to have is to give a damn. It's to really give a damn about what you're doing, to be into it. So there's some people in sports,
it's like availability.
In journalism.
It's like the best ability is availability. Ability and giving a damn, availability and giving a damn go hand in hand. I love that.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
There's some people in athletics, in football, and in journalism who got all the talent in the world. But they don't give a damn enough. They don't care enough. So when you give a damn, that just takes you to another level. And he's got that thing. He's got it. And I'm not saying this, Mike. I'm really not trying to be messy here. I'm not. You gotta think I am.
No. Yeah, especially after you qualified it. After you said, I'm not trying to be messy, messy stuff is coming. No disrespect, but disrespect is coming. So what you about to say?
There's a reason, though. Seriously, there's a reason. I thought about this. There's a reason San Francisco has not won this Super Bowl. That didn't win this game. And we can talk about, everybody's going to do this. Talk about Patrick Mahomes. We're doing it now. Patrick Mahomes is amazing. Patrick Mahomes, you can't beat him. Well, there were opportunities to beat Patrick Mahomes yesterday, including the first drive of the third quarter. Hey, double it up. They came down. It's not the touchdown that they wanted, but they got some points on the board. They get the ball, started the third quarter, and hey, they could, and watch out. Here come the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, it didn't work out that way. They looked a little scattershot. Maybe they were enjoying Usher at halftime like the rest of us. Not a great start to the third quarter for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes turns it over. So, with all this praise for Mahomes, it was 10-3.
Yeah.
They had the ball. They had opportunities they didn't take advantage of. And really, if you think about San Francisco, so San Francisco, we heard it. Casual fans, just to remind you, casual fans out there who are listening and watching us, if San Francisco won the Super Bowl, they'd be tied with the most ever. That's 6, along with the Patriots and Steelers. 6. But think about this, Mike. I know you're a Super Bowl historian. First time San Francisco won the Super Bowl, it was a goal line stand. Hacksaw Reynolds and others. Goal line stand. Kept Cincinnati out of the end zone. Second time they won the Super Bowl, they only lost one game that year. They won one game that year. Joe Montana,
1984,
kind of like he had 333 yards, something like that. 3 touchdown passes, touchdown run.
Yeah.
Okay. The third time they won the Super Bowl, it was Montana to Taylor. Hey, isn't that John Candy in the stands? That's how legend goes.
92 yards. Yeah.
Right. Fourth time they won it. That wasn't even a game.
Right.
55.
Right.
They dropped 55.
Right.
And the last time they won it, 6 touchdown passes from your guy, Steve Young. Point is, you go to the Super Bowl, you got to do something. It's not about playing your best and playing a clean game. That's obvious. Okay, after you do that, play your best. You got to be extraordinary. Something extraordinary has to happen either from your best players or somebody you don't expect. What was the extraordinary thing that San Francisco did yesterday? They were fine. They were fine.
Well, no, actually, they weren't fine. No, actually, because it's what you're saying, but it's also you can't lose on special teams the way that they did. You know, like you can't talk about knowing what you need.
And don't blame Ray Ray. Don't blame Ray Ray.
He tried to recover what would have been a muff. No, he did the right thing. But nonetheless, that led to before the game-winning touchdown. That was the only touchdown of the game. Was off a short field. Was off a sudden change. Off a muff punt. That was the only touchdown. You know, like they were awful in the red zone, Kansas City, for the most part. You know, like Pacheco fumbled. Mahomes threw his first interception in forever in the postseason. Like that, you're right. They were far from perfect. But San Francisco had way too many penalties. San Francisco had, the muff punt, the missed extra point. San Francisco not only didn't do anything extraordinary to your point, but they allowed, how many times, you like Eddie Murphy and Raw, how many times you have some ugly team that just keep hanging around and just let the Chiefs keep hanging around? And so there is a skill to Patrick Mahomes being down 10 and not being out. I mean, no, he was not. There were opportunities to beat him, but when you don't seize him, he's gonna make you pay for him. He's gonna make you pay for him, and that's what he did.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.